Take one, Jammin J spare tire changing video. Good morning everybody, this is Doug from Jammin J Automotive here in St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Cardinals and Blues. And we're going to shoot a quick video for you just to show you how to change a spare tire. Hopefully you're not viewing this on the side of the road, and hopefully we can get you a couple tips that'll help keep your wheel on and keep you rolling. So what we're going to do is we're going to go take this spare tire out and show you exactly how to get this going. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the trunk of the car. And the first thing I want you to do is realize I'm doing this on a Toyota Camry. All different cars are going to be different. You know, we have a Honda CR-V here in the shop that we loan out. That tire is actually on the back of the vehicle. The best place to check is going to be your owner's manual to see if you can figure out where this stuff is. It is going to be hidden in the car. I've seen some of the older pickup trucks, the jack and stuff is underneath the hood, but you're going to have to be able to find where that stuff is at. Owner's manual is a good place to start. Then you're going to have to lug all your stuff out of your trunk. I once had a lady have me do this, and she had 20 cases of soda in her trunk. It was really cool. Luckily for this video, I don't have a lot of junk in my trunk. So come on in, we'll show you. This car has 270,000 miles, so yes, it's had a couple flat tires. I'm going to pull this panel on it, which is broken. And then there's always some way for this tire to be secured down in here. Yes, I did cheat and loosen that up ahead of time. And what you're going to see here is a full-size spare tire. Set that down on the ground. And then, if you look at where this jack is hidden, there's a cover back in here. Pull that out. A couple of ashtrays from the car, which we don't use, so they're just hidden back in here. And then, yes, I did have to use the owner's manual to figure out how to get this jack out of here, because it's been a while since I've had a flat tire. So this is the jack, and then down underneath here is my tire iron and some sort of cranking mechanism. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to swing over here real quick, lay this stuff down, and I want to go over real quickly. This is a full-size spare, and this is a space saver spare. This is done to save space and weight in these vehicles. We have a full-size spare and a space saver spare. Just want you to know, I get people all the time that come in and they're scared to death to drive on these things. And yeah, it is a little bitty skinny tire, but it's designed to get you a little ways down the road. I mean, I saw a lady literally driving on 2 of these on the back of the car doing 90 up the highway one day. So for you to go an extra 20, 30, 40 miles on it, don't worry about it. These are safe little tires. They're just designed not for, you know, long periods of driving. So don't freak out by having this on your car. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll over to the side of the car here, and I'm going to show you how to get this jack up underneath there. I want you to use this to get in here and pry that hubcap off. Now some cars will give you this and it's a center cap that comes off. The whole wheel stays on and the center cover stays on. There's this little center cap, you'll see a little indentation. But they're always going to give you everything they need. Now, here's the very important part about this. It's important that we get these lug nuts loose before we jack the car up, because once this wheel's up in the air, it'll turn and you'll never get them off. So we're going to take these loose, and that's a pretty short little bar. It's going to take a little bit of leverage to get this thing off. So hopefully, if you notice, I'm kind of bending and using the legs. Okay, and there's all 5 of them are loose. Now, what we're going to do, this jack, we're actually going to hook this little hook in here. And once again, yours may vary. They're always going to give you enough stuff to do the job, though. And you're going to turn this and watch it come up. I'm going to do this without the jack here. Now, there's going to be 4 lifting points on the vehicle, 1 for each wheel. And it's important that we get this lifting point in the right place. Now there's actually a picture on this jack that shows me where this goes. So we're going to come in here for a tight shot, and I'll show you where they want this to go. Okay, here I am laying on the ground, and if you can see right here, this is actually on the jack. And they're showing a picture. They want this jack to go up underneath the pinch welds. This is where the car was actually assembled and welded when they were putting it together. And we're going to show you where those are at. you can come up underneath here and look. First off, there's a little arrow right there on the bottom of the car showing me where this pinch weld is. And there's a groove in the jack. If you see this groove, and they want that to go right in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this jack up with my fingers. And see how that fits right up in there? Like I said, there'll be 4 of these on this car. And that's, if you see it going up a little bit, that's me with my fingers. It's going to get hard though in a second. So let me back out and I'll show you how we're going to jack this up. Okay, so now I have this thing on the pinch weld. If you can notice, it's nice and flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to start turning this up. And I want you to know, and I'll just stop right here and explain something to you. This is a pretty chintzy little jack. By no means do I want to be underneath this car, have my feet underneath this tire when this thing's off the air, up in the air. And I'm actually going to take this wheel off, and I'm only going to lift it about this far off the ground because it does need to be very high. Just so you know, I'm on a nice, flat, clean surface. If you're on a hill, you may want to find a rock or something and put it up in front of the front tires and block that tire so this car doesn't have as much chance to roll. Because when I pick this thing up in the air, it's still in park, it's not going to go anywhere, but there is the chance for safety. So put a rock under it. If you don't know where to put that rock, let's just don't even change this tire, okay? We'll just use that as a prerequisite there. Okay, so I'm going to go up. Hear that rubber scraping a little bit, the tire's just coming off the ground. And there we go, I'm just barely off the ground. And now I'm going to take my wrench. Once again, if this tire were spinning and I was trying to undo these, it would be very difficult to do. Please notice I'm not underneath this vehicle. If it were to fall off that jack, it's not going to get me. So that was actually nice and loose, fingers off. And this tire is actually wanting to swing out, so I'm going to turn that last little bit to the top. And there we go, my nice Toyo Extensa fantastic tire now off the car. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll this spare one on. Obviously, you have to line up the lug nuts, and this is where sometimes it may require you to sit on your butt and wiggle that on there, because we don't want our feet underneath that car. So I'm going to just get it up on there. And now I'm on. So what we're going to do next, we're going to come in tight, and I'm going to show you something very important about how this wheel is mounted. This wheel on the car, and a very important thing you have to understand. This center section right here is called the hub. And this part of the wheel actually goes on that hub. This is what actually supports the weight of the car. This wheel, this little circle, is resting on this hub on the inside. All the lug nuts do is keep the wheel flush. So when we go to tighten these lug nuts back down, it's very important that we're not tightening this thing down with that wheel cocked sideways. That wheel needs to be flat against the hub, and then the lug nuts are simply going to hold it on there. See, I need that. I need it nice and flat and even all the way around. That's very important. And I'm actually going to get the lug nut in there just to snug it in place. I'm going to put my other 5 on there. 4 on there, 3. Hard to count when you're doing a video. Just so you know, I have very clean wheel studs because these threads are just up, these spinnies right on there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is with this wrench, I'm just going to snug these up just a little bit. I just want this wheel flush up against that hub. And then we're going to do the opposite of what we did before. I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to let this car down on that wheel. So now I can tighten these lug nuts without the wheel turning. And here's the most important thing about it. Make sure our hub is nice and flush, but at the same time, these lug nuts have got to be tight. We don't have to get 200 foot-pounds on there. An average wheel car tire wheel will be 800, maybe 100 foot-pounds. Me taking this and standing up and getting it good and tight is probably 80, 100 pounds. Now, if you notice, I'm going to go in a star pattern. Every other one. The whole goal here is just to get this wheel torqued down evenly. I'm going to give this one a good pull. So I went here, here, here. Next one, I'm basically just doing every other lug nut. And I'm going to go over them one more time just to make sure they're good and tight. My biggest concern is that they're tight and that they're all the same amount of tightness. Okay, I got them on there good and tight. Now all I gotta do is remove my jack, throw all my junk, bad tire, everything else in the back of the trunk, and we're out of here. Okay, in closing, I just want to go over real quick. Once again, hopefully you're not doing this on the side of the road in a dangerous area, but it is a good idea to go out and make sure that you know how to do this before the problem arises. A lot of cars we've seen will actually have directions up inside the trunk lid on how to get the jack out, things like that. Another thing I'd really like you to check on is make sure your car has a spare tire in it. Just so you know, the manufacturers are being held to fuel economy standards, and they're doing anything they can to make these cars lighter and lighter, and one of the things that they've done is they've completely removed the spare tire. I'd hate for you to have a flat tire on the side of the road, pop your trunk open, dig through, get all your stuff out, get it out of there, and find out there is no spare tire in there. So once again, just make sure you're checking and looking ahead for all these types of things, and I'm going to go ahead and cheat and get this thing back together real quick and show you how fast it can be done in a place where you take it to get your tire repaired.